Yeah, he has a memoir, but it will never be released. No, it won't.
I mean, it's been many, many years of a lot of time together, a lot of late nights, a lot of travel. Yeah. I'd probably be more apt to tell you the serious stories about when he's been there when I needed him the most, not physically, but emotionally.
Yeah, suffice to say, he's been a pretty good friend over the past too many years.
Go pick somebody up, man.
And you know what, Jared, we should start thinking about a gag order.
There was a guy who was taller than me somewhere here. Go get rid of him.
Hi.
Anyways, we have, anybody got anything to ask?
Microphone's on the side for you guys to ask questions, please.
Come on, guys, I can't be the only one. You know how much time I spent with the guys?
Person has one question.
Okay, I first met you in 2008 in Chicago, and I kind of like screamed from across the thing, "Oh my God, it's Tiny!" And I said, "Why weren't you on the marquee?" And you looked at me like I was absolutely insane. I'm sorry it's taken this long, but I'm so excited that you're here. Recently, do you have any? I know it's bad to ask for spoilers.
I don't see anything, so.
Anything ever. Do you have any favorite stories of the guys that you would like to share? Maybe pranking each other or something, interaction with some of the celebrities that have been here today.
Well, there's one thing, when I first started with the guys, we were shooting a scene, I can't remember, we were at Exhibition Park here, I think it was on the other side. Anyways, there's a scene where the guys are filling up a hole full of dirt, and obviously Greg and some, which is what they do. And Jared, I'm talking, we were maybe in 3 months I'd been with the guys by now, I think it was. And Jared thought it would be a good idea to take one of the shovels of dirt and just throw it close to me. Instead, he threw it really close and it fell right on top of my head. And completely covered me in dirt. So we're still waiting.
How fast can he run?
Luckily he was on a 25-foot platform, so somebody moved the ladder so he couldn't get up there. But revenge is best served cold, right? So we're still waiting on that. So we'll figure something out for him, for sure.
And how did they approach you for the role for Tiny?
Just audition. They just wanted a big, bald, ugly guy with tattoos, so it worked out perfect. I went in and beat out the other guys, which is good. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I saw your feature with Kurt Russell on the Motel 2400.
Oh, up at 2400?
Yeah, I don't know what movie it is though. Can you tell me?
3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How was it like working on there?
Super. Kurt Russell is a really just awesome guy. He's like one of the #1 guys out there, I think. Just a pleasure to work with the whole family. I got to work with him, and then got to go down to LA a couple of times and hang out with him. And one of my favorite things ever I've done is went down there and had a meeting with some people at an agency down there about a script idea that was rolling around. And Kurt said, "Do you want to go grab lunch?" And I said, "Of course, sure, we'll go grab lunch." He says, "Well, just leave your car, hop in, we'll just go." So we start meandering around, and I'm just, I don't have no idea where we're going. So we end up at the Santa Monica airport. And I think, okay, well, we'll just jump in there and whatever. I guess there's a cafe or something. No. He says, "That's my plane." So we go over, get on his plane, and we proceed to fly over to Catalina Island and have buffalo burgers on Catalina Island and sat there for 6 or 7 hours and just talked. It was really cool. One of my favorite experiences I've had. Thank you.
Hi. As you know, Jared and Jensen lived together for a little while. Somebody asked them. Yeah, probably. And somebody asked them at one of the conventions you know, who does the cooking and cleaning? And Jerry came back, Clif, our bodyguard. I was just wondering, like, do you hang around with them a lot, and do you do the cooking and cleaning?
Cleaning, well, no, well, yeah. I have the cleaning part, but the cooking, no. No, not much of a cook. But yeah, I actually, with the house that Jerry bought there, actually all three of us lived there. We all did. I had Jensen and I had downstairs part, and Jared had the big part upstairs. Yeah, I did. I made sure that at least the kitchen and a few other spots where I like to hang out were clean.
The important.
The important places, yeah. I wouldn't go near Jared's room. So, yeah.
They also, they were talking about who pressed the most, and they said Clif. And I never really got the number.
Oh, the number?
What did you have to press?
At that time, it was probably, I think it was around 405, I think. What is it now? I wouldn't go near a rock right now. It's been a while. We had a little accident a few weeks ago, my wife and I, so I can't do much in the way of weights.
That's fine. Just knowing you ever hit 400 is very impressive.
I'll take that.
I wanted to know if the dynamic feels a little awkward. I mean, you are
Well, I'm dynamic, so.
the bodyguard for Jared and Jensen, and you drive them around. But now, obviously, you've become more famous than they are. And I just wanted to know, how has that shifted the dynamic that you have with the two of them?
Well, it's obviously put me above them, so now I actually get, they share the driving. They drive me, so it's pretty good. And you must feel the same way because you, of course, are miles above them.
Yeah, well, actually, I knew that we shared that. So.
Yeah. And it's great now because I have a much bigger trailer than they do.
Yeah, you do. It takes up almost the entire parking lot.
Yeah.
It's not really a trailer, technically, it's a building, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
First, I just want to say my mom is a big fan of yours. She's not here, but she's going to tell you hello.
Hi, Mom.
She doesn't have a passport, so she couldn't come up.
Oh, okay. I have the same problem.
I have two questions for you. First off, I just wondered, how did you become the boy bodyguard? How did that happen?
Well, as you know, in season 2, season 1, I actually came on as just what they call a day call driver. So I got to meet them and got to know the crew and the guys who were on the transportation side. And then in season 2, I came on with the episode. And then at the end of season 2, they had a few problems, and so they decided they needed somebody. And it just turned out there's not very many of us in my profession here in Vancouver, so there was 3 or 4 of us that got the resume sent down, and the guys just said, "Oh yeah, well, we know this guy, so we'll take him."
Okay, my second question is, I want to ask you, have you ever gotten a tattoo in Vancouver? Can you recommend anywhere to go?
Oh yeah, actually all my tattoos are from, well, the Valley actually, out in the Valley, in Abbotsford. A place called Brian's Tattoos. He's very, very good. You probably don't know if anybody else.
This year and then last year?
As in pranks on cars?
Yes.
Yeah. I've had to, there's a certain individual that gets a little rough with equipment, so I've had to repair a couple of things on my truck. I won't mention any names, but his name starts with J. Might end with a D,
And my other question, since you said you came on season 2, and maybe you can answer this question, maybe not. I've often wondered if the Hollywood Babylon story, where there was...
my favorite episode, by the way. Love that.
Yeah, where Jensen and Jared kind of snuck on a movie set.
Yes.
I have heard a rumor that a fan did that the same season. I was wondering if the fan was inspired by that episode, or was that episode inspired by the fan?
I never actually got to talk to the young lady that did it. They found her out before. I mean, we were all there, but she was there. So.
Do you know if it happened before or after that?
I can't. The episode was, where were we? We were on Zero Avenue, big giant old house. I can't remember which episode it was though. But I remember the girl, she just walked up, said she was a PA, and you know, she's got a vest and a radio, and she's working. I thought it was great.
He watched the show and said, if
mean, yeah. I've always said, if you find yourself a nice tool belt, and you can eat all over the city for free if you want.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. See, nobody else is coming. She's got a dog wall.
Great car. He really likes the Impala. He says I could never keep that running. I wanted to find out, did it sell? Because I never actually saw one there, and what you guys are driving around in now.
No, it didn't sell because we decided to have another season. So I needed to keep my truck. And no, it's still there. So we're still here. It's parked right out here on the road. You can steal it if you want.
It's insured.
It's insured. The keys are in it.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, come on, you guys. Let's see if you can.
I'm just wondering exactly, you've obviously had specific training and what to look for. I imagine.
You. Just like me.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering, obviously you're in a lot of situations before they actually happen. Like if you're looking for something that's going to happen, rather than wait for it to.
Absolutely, yeah. My job is as opposed to the police department, they do stuff, after stuff happens. I try to see it before it comes.
Yeah.
And usually it works out. Yesterday we were shooting, which thank God none of you guys really knew. We were right over here. Okay, there might be a couple of you that showed up. There you go. Okay. But it was really funny. I'm standing with myself and then the transportation captain, and Johnny, who's my second, he helps me out, and then another crew member and another guy standing beside us. We're just chatting away. We're right in the middle of the set. Jared and Jensen are right here doing their thing, and Jared goes, "Hey, Clif." And I go, like, what? I'm looking around, looking for snipers or whatever. Right? Obviously, there's something going on. He goes, "Who's the guy standing beside you?" And I look over, and here's a paparazzi dude standing right beside me, right beside Johnny, right beside everybody else, right in the middle of the set. I was doing a real good job. I think I just found out those fresh cookies or something. Trying to get to crafty. My scariest band. We're talking to this show?
Yeah, it was even after.
This road, right? Now you guys are good, hey, that's great. We haven't had too many scary ones. I actually missed out on probably the scariest one was in London.
Oh yeah, I heard only a bit about that.
Yeah, girl, that's pretty much when I got called to, okay, Clif, you're coming with us now. Those ones. Yes, it wasn't it? Yeah. It's in England, isn't it? It's in England, isn't it? Yeah. Which side of the tracks? The dodgy side or the... But here we haven't had too many. We've got some pretty pushy paparazzi guys. Most of the time the fans are until you all show up. All hell breaks loose then. I had to get a reference in there somehow. We live way out in the valley, about 50, 60 miles east of here. So it's 5 o'clock up in the morning, and I drive in the same time every morning because the traffic is horrendous coming into the city. So I'll come in here and just crash in front of one of the guys' place for a little while, and then pick up, usually we try to, they usually come in at the same time, so grab one guy and then go wait for the other guy. Once again, letter J. And then head down, hit Tim Hortons, of course, the coffee joint. And then depending on where we're at, if it's a studio day, it's fairly simple. We've got security all around there, gates and fences, so that's pretty easy. A work day and a location day, we'll go down. I'll make phone calls before I get down and see if there's fans around there, if there's paparazzi, and try to address a little bit of that before we even get there. And then show up to where our trucks and stuff are parked and make sure it's all secure there. And then I drop the guys off, and then I will go do a recon and drive around the neighborhood and see if there's anybody in the trees and pictures and stuff like that, and see how secure the location we're going to be at. And then from then, for the rest of the day, I go up and stay on set. two of them are working, they're not in every scene together, mostly every scene, and they go back and forth, and so I have my other guy, John, who helps me out, he'll take them back and forth to the circus, and I stay on set just to keep an eye on things up there. And it's usually, like I say, a 12 to 14 hour day of hanging on set, and an hour before, hour after, 16 to 18 hour days, 5 days a week. And, yeah.
Is that pretty common for filming up here in Vancouver, those long days?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the guys, one of the guys came on, a day call driver came on our show the other day, and he was on site, 41 hours in 2 days.
Wow.
41 hours of work in 2 days, so. Yeah, it's very difficult. Standard shooting day, right, is like 12 and a half hours, and then you tack on an hour on either end anyways. Sometimes longer. Yeah, yesterday was the 17th.
And all the actors also have to stay the entire time, or if they're done with their scenes, they can leave, I suppose?
If they're done with their scenes, yeah, they can take off. I think Jensen finished early yesterday, so we got to butter off home a couple hours earlier today. And we got to stand outside in the cold with a couple other fans. All right, very good. I keep losing you guys. Yeah. Hey.
Not at this convention, but another convention, we've heard some great dog stories of some of the other actors' encounters with Jared's dogs, Richard Spade and Samantha Smith. Besides, I bet you know a lot more than just the little spotting stories there. They good pooches? Do they get out often?
Oh, they get out all the time, and they get at our studio. There's great grass stretches in the front and out the back, so. Kelly, our costume crew, takes care of Jared's dogs most of the time. She takes them out for long walks and stuff like that. But they're great, they just roam around. Now, my dog, Buddy, I think most people know who he is. He's a bit of a pain.
Does he ever come out and play with Jared's dogs?
Oh, he does. He's an absolute tormentor. He just tries to get at Harley and Sadie all the time. It's great for them. Harley won't run, he just doesn't run. But Sadie will try and catch him, chase him around and stuff like that. Jeannie Chow, the main hair lady of the show, she's sort of a surrogate mom and loves to take care of Buddy. We had Chad Everett. Chad Everett was on the show, right?
Yeah.
And he was in the makeup trailer. And Buddy, that's where Buddy hangs out during the day. So Buddy's an Australian blue heeler, if anybody else doesn't know. So heels are his thing. Anyways, so Chad's been with the dog. Chad has 6 or 7 dogs himself. Loves dogs. They're all. He's sitting there with Buddy. Buddy's just hanging out. So Chad, who has this talent of playing blues with a blade of grass, and it's quite amazing. He does a fantastic job, right? But very high-pitched sounds. So Chad started to go, and of course Buddy does. What is that, right? And he's jumping up, looking around. And so Chad stops. He just kind of hesitates for a second. I wonder where that came from. Chad starts up again. So what does Buddy do? Walks over to Chad, looks around, circles him, bites him. Right on the heel, just like he's supposed to. So Chad stopped, which is great. But now Buddy can't visit the hair makeup trailer anymore. So he's the only little jerk that's been around.
Have any of the actors been particularly scared around the dogs?
There was, I can't remember her name. There was one of the actresses came in, and I think she just completely has a phobia of any kind of dog. So, she's sitting in the hair makeup trailer, and here comes Buddy, and Harley, Sadie, and then Indy. Let's go really slow, but she can't jump very low. That's Genevieve's dog. And yeah, she was kind of pulls her feet up, but
Samantha Smith had a story about a teeny tiny little Yorkie that she takes around with her. Yeah. That the dogs kind of confronted her and she nipped 2 nose, and now the big giant dogs went running from the teeny tiny little Yorkie.
Those Yorkies are fierce. Actually, I think I have a scar right here where Yorkie bit me. Yeah.
It wasn't Samantha's dog, was it?
No. It's a long time. Who worked with me on a number of projects, like with Justin Timberlake and I bring them in on days like that because I can't, because she requires 7%. She requires 7% to just be hanging out.
So the job is overall security as well as personal bodyguard?
Yes. Yeah. Wherever the guys are usually out, I'm with them. If it's any kind of event, I'll go with them. And on weekends and stuff, we usually just makes it easier for them, for me to be hanging out.
Sure. Sure. I was also interested in to know a little bit more about what Vancouver offers you guys, as far as shooting up here. I know there are tax benefits, but it seems like there are a lot of shows coming up here maybe for other reasons. Can you talk about what Vancouver offers you guys?
Well, for us, it's my bad.
For us, it's of course the diverse locations. We can go from being in the snow if we wanted to a desert that's only half an hour away. It looks like. So it's mostly about that, and the city itself, Vancouver, we don't shoot in much. We shoot out in the valley quite a bit, and out that way they're very film accommodating for us. So it's easy to close down roads. It's easy to get big parking lots and to work with the different. But they're actors, but they're a little smarter than that.
There's one. Have you ever gotten there?
Not yet. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on certain things. No, if you see you prank Jared, he gets cranky sometimes. I honestly did not hire this lady here or Amanda to ask questions.
Within like a 5-minute walk here, I know the Sandover building across the street is the House of the Holies, and the Night Shifter Bank is just very, very close to here. Are there any other like buildings that we would recognize from the episodes that are close by?
Within walking?
Even short driving.
Even short driving. I think last time we were down. Of what we shoot downtown. Because usually when we're downtown, we're inside stuff. We don't use that many exteriors down here. I think. But yeah, most of our stuff is like there's a few of you gone on location tours and stuff like that. Most of our stuff is on the other side of the bridge, as they call it. Because we're mostly rural, so it's the look we're at.
You say other side of the bridge. What's the bridge?
The bridge would be like the Port Man's Bridge, which would be Surrey Lane area. Yeah, and we use a lot of different bars and stuff in the Surrey Lane area.
Mainly inside?
Mainly inside. Yeah, most of the stuff's inside. And then of course a lot of studio stuff. A lot of stuff.
Okay, thank you.
I want to do, it sounds to me like you have a really cool job. What's your family think of how your career is going?
They like the job, they hate the hours. She's going, say whatever I want now. So she shows up again. She's behind me? Is she really hiding back there now? They like it, but it takes it takes a lot of family time away. With the boys, it's pretty good. They go back to Los Angeles a lot, so I get my weekends. In other jobs, I'd be 24 hours, 7 days a week, so I'm gone for 3 months, basically like 3 months at a time. And I'll come home for 1 day out of the week, maybe.
It's tough.
It is. It's
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering when Russ and the location people choose the locations for shooting, do you get consulted for security reasons to find out if it's a good location or a trouble spot?
They have one thing they have to worry about me, and that's a good parking spot. That's pretty much it. But no, what we do, we get like, in particular last night, we're downtown. So they just, I make sure they bring on extra people, and then I bring on extra people as well. Just because of where we are, and because the event was on, we're anticipating a little larger than average people watching. Yeah, but most of the time, yeah, just we're, like I said, once again, we're so rural that it's usually not hard. It's not hard to see people hanging out. Yeah.
And I just have another question too. I noticed, not so much you yourself, but some other guests this weekend have called Jensen and Jared by the boys, which I know the fans often use that collectively for them, and I was wondering if that happens a lot on set, they're referred to as the boys.
It does. I think we've actually moved on now. We're now referring to them as the guys. I guess just because they got married, they've grown up somehow or something. We still refer to, so we get 50-50 on the radio, the boys are traveling, or now the guys are traveling. I just go with dorks are on their way. And of course, they love that.
My question that has to hopefully do with the future, and as you are,
22 seasons.
Maybe you can answer the question about the rumor that they have signed up for a contract that would give them an option for future seasons. And if you can answer it, maybe you can tell us how many seasons that extension would be for?
I would love to answer that if they would tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get anything. I'll find out next, well, same time you guys do. You probably know before we know.
Yeah.
WB will announce, or CW will announce it on their homepage, and then we go, hey, we're working next year.
Well, not whether CW will pick it up, it's like, it gives CW the option to pick them up.
Yeah. I mean, in their contracts, use the words that way. They ask them, if we're going to go 15 seasons, do you guys want to stay? And they say, sure, give us $28 million a year, we'll stay. And then still at the end, when it boils down to an end, it's still the CW's ultimate decision whether we go or not. Right? So as long as you guys keep watching, keep those numbers up there, we'll be okay. And I will not have to look for more work.
Thank you very much, and I'll be sure to ask them how many years their option for.
You had mentioned how many hours you work in a day. I was just wondering, what kind of a vacation schedule? Because I know that
1 year through the Christmas week into the first week of January. So everybody filters out. This year, I think we're actually getting an extra. We get at Thanksgiving, you guys usually get 3 or 4 days, but this year we're actually getting a whole week. So I think everybody's going to do the same thing. It's a little sort of in between break, and everybody's going to bugger off, do their thing, and come back. But other than that, that's it.
so 5 days,
5 days, 6
14
days,
plus
7
hours,
days.
all the time. Okay.
Yeah, the average work week for me is probably in between 75 and 80 hours.
And do you work always when they work, or do
Yeah.
you get days off also?
No. And usually on the days off, I have to, Jensen needs somebody to carry his golf clubs. So. That's what I have to tell management anyways. You can't do it, it's just sore backwards. It's like carry 2 days.
Unfortunately, play golf.
It's tough sometimes. These are really hard.
If a fan happened to stumble upon, were you all shooting, like somebody
I killed them.
What should we do to, watch and be out of the way? What's the allowed should we do?
Yeah, we usually just set the location department's pretty good about it. They try and set a nice, good boundary where you can still see stuff. We don't want you to have to, don't look, don't take pictures, don't. So they'll put up cones or whatever sort, but you can still see what's going on. Just a big part of that is just simply safety. We've got so much crap moving around in there, and grips and electrics aren't delicate with giant things that you hit people in the head with. They still have scars in the back. When people show up, it's they always come to me and they say, "Oh my God, there's people taking pictures. What should we do?" I don't know. You got 30 or 40 giant big guys you can stick on front of them or something like that. No, we don't. We just if you guys if you want to come up and watch. No, we try to treat everybody with respect, right? So, yeah. That was probably one of the big things. Great, I get to go on the show and beat up these wussy actors. It was great. I remember just from day one going there, sitting down, and a lot of times I go on a show, some other shows that I've done, or other shows that I've worked on. Here's your chair. Here's the stars chairs, right? That happens a lot. But no, not those guys. They just stick the chair in the middle of yours, and they want to know who you are. So they want to know what you're about. So no, it's really good. I can't say that enough. But these guys have been great to me. So.
I actually think we're out of time.